So if you send a donation, just click now.
Did I just witness what I think I witnessed? Please don't tell me I just saw a billionaire standing next to a multi-millionaire begging the average everyday citizen for donations that can barely get by due to a real-life recession, living paycheck to paycheck, barely can pay rent, barely can put food on the table for our families, okay? Living in a real-life recession in a country where our president is giving away all our resources and resources to another country for money. If you two don't go take your Hollywood elite behinds to your other Hollywood elite friends and politician buddies that got millions like you do and billions and get all that money together and help out Maui, you are out your damn mind. Please don't insult our intelligence like that. And after you guys do all of that, you will have enough money to help the rest of us. Boo. Get out of here with that. The nerve.
Busted our ass. And this is what we get? Nobody called us. Our phones didn't work from 5 in the morning. The fire was not 10 o'clock when I went to work. The fire was still there. There was no water. Tell me if that's not coincidence. No water, no warning. And everybody talking about the satellite city before the fire. Lahaina going to be the first satellite city. Well, hey, Jeff Bezos, you got what you wanted. Oprah, you got what you wanted. And the guy who owns the nut, you got what you wanted. Fuck us all over. That's what happened. Okay. We need help in Lahaina. Who's going to come now and ask us, can I pray for you, Auntie?
Thank you.
Can I help you with your paperwork? Because all we got so far was $700, and we don't know who to call or anything. It's culturally insensitive in that zone.
Texting back and forth. And I read this article that Dolly Parton had given money in her community. And I said, I think this is the answer. You said, I think that's the answer.
I said, I love it.
And so we have created the People's Fund of Maui that will put money directly in the hands of the people who need it right now. So if you send a donation, just click where you see below and send a donation. That money is going to go to one of many residents who have been displaced in Maui. We guarantee.
That's right. And I know a lot of people out there, as Oprah and I have been finding, are just having a hard time trusting where the money goes. What organizations should I send money to? How can I help? In this case, the fund that we created with a lot of hard work from a lot of hardworking people who all care about these people of Maui. As Oprah was saying, it is a clean, direct from you directly to their hands, and right away with some real immediacy, because as we're finding, as you guys around the world know, with disasters like this, the number one need is money.
Is money.
In hand.
And so people being able to have their own agency, being able to make decisions for themselves about what they need and what their family needs, that's our goal, is to get that to the people now. And so we appreciate any support that you can give. All the people who were calling me and texting me and messaging me and saying, what do I do? What do I do? This is what you do.
Now you know.
The People's Fund of Maui.
Oprah, come here, baby. Come here, baby. You asking for relief aid to those poor people in Maui that lost everything. Ain't them your neighbors? I mean, you used to be giving away stuff on your show. You get a car, you get a car, you get a car. Why can't you reach into your $2 billion net worth and say, you get relief, you get relief, you get relief? Instead, you down here asking me for money. Back to school just started and we as parents are wiped out. Half of us just got our job back since COVID. I know it's been a long time since you've been broke, but let me just tell you that the prices in the 90s when you was broke are not today's prices, baby. And then you got the nerve to come down here and ask me for money with your own personal bodyguard who's easily worth $800 million alone. I know at least between the two of y'all can both come up with about $2 million to help your neighbors out. I mean, Oprah, it ain't even like you gotta pay a deductible on your insurance because your property wasn't touched. Between you and the president only giving $700 to those poor people, I don't know who worse. Nah, we got to get Joe out of there, man.
How many times are we going to laugh in their faces and blatantly disrespect the people of Maui? Some of you might not be ready for this conversation, but I'm somebody who questions everything, and I think that this is damage control. I haven't even had a chance to touch on this topic yet, but let's start out with the $700. The pocket change that was sent over to the islands to help rebuild and restore the island. $700. A slap in the face. Joe, listen, I know you've been napping the majority of your presidency, but babes, $700 barely covers groceries nowadays. Forget rebuilding. I think I can speak for everybody when I say I would prefer my tax dollars go to our own people to help the people within the country as opposed to the billions that have been sent over to Ukraine. Now over to Oprah and The Rock. Okay, so they started like a little GoFundMe, a fundraiser to help the people of the island, which is respectable, I guess. They're doing more than the government at this point. They kicked the fundraiser off with a $10 million donation. I'm guessing 50-50, $5 million each. I don't know how it was broken down exactly. Regardless, pennies to them. In case you guys forgot or you just didn't know, a simple Google search would tell you that Oprah's net worth is $2.5 billion, The Rock is $800 million, him being one of the highest paid actors in the world. Now listen, to play devil's advocate, I am in no position, nobody's in any position to tell somebody else how to spend their money regardless of how much they have. The real kicker with this whole situation, which most of us are aware of, a lot of the elites, the super wealthy, their properties were not touched by these fires that ravished the island, specifically Lahaina, including Oprah's staggering 2,000 acres that she owns worth of land on this island. If you care that much about this natural disaster in the island of Maui, how about you give some of that land back to the native Polynesians that inhabit it? Now these super wealthy and investors coincidentally want to swoop in now and try to purchase this land off of these poor people that are in a state of desperation. Back to this fundraiser, I do think it's damage control, like I said, because Oprah's under fire with everything going on. And it's a shame because even if they are doing this out of the goodness of their heart, it's hard to trust them. I don't trust the higher ups. I don't trust the elites. I don't trust the government because we've been fooled and bamboozled so many times, especially with shit like this. Everything is so calculated and strategically done. Like the fact that these billion-dollar properties were not touched, but yet the city of Lahaina was just completely taken out. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Okay, and it seems like the hurricane response so far is robust. Did you guys realize that the initial Hawaii wildfire response was not that good? Or is it just easier for people to get help from the White House when the president is not on vacation?
So the premise of your question and the way you pose your question, I disagree, just for the record. So if you were to do your reporting and speak to the governor of Hawaii, the senators of Hawaii, the folks on the ground, they would say that the president reacted in record time when it came to dealing with the wildfires, when it came to dealing and making sure that they got everything that they need on the federal level to deal with what was going on the ground. Let's not forget there were more than 600 federal employees on the ground already to assist with the wildfires in Maui. So your question is wrong, it's flawed in many, many ways, and I would advise you to go speak to the governor and the local and state officials in Hawaii.
Meanwhile,
today I haven't had any money come in. I haven't had anybody call me back. I didn't have anything. I have no idea. I lost my house. I lost my car. I lost my animals. I mean, come on, man. We're not getting anything. Till today, I still didn't get my meds. I cannot get my meds yet. My medicine was all burnt in my house. My rent money was all burnt in my house. I have no money anymore. I think Joe Biden should take his $700 and get back on the fucking plane and go home. That's what I think. Because $700 compared to all the millions he's giving to Ukraine, why? We need it. That's why we don't understand why. We're citizens and we cannot get money. But if they're not citizens, they get gazillions of dollars from the USA. Where's our government? Fix your house before you fix somebody else's house.
Is this how, like, your community, other Hawaiians you know, locals, indigenous people, is that how they feel, pretty much how you feel?
Everybody feels that way. Come on. That's why the local people stick together and we help our own people because we know the outside people are not going to do it.
It is disgusting. We have real estate investors and speculators going around calling our victims, offering to give them cash and buy their property. It is disgusting. It's a land grab. And I know that our Lahaina community, we are resilient and we will do whatever it takes to protect Lahaina. We've already been displaced enough. And, you know, we plan to have a seat at the table in rebuilding Lahaina and ensuring that the rich cultural history of Lahaina is protected and that the multi-generational families get to come back home.